Yo, what's good, guys? So today I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about why you need to react to different market conditions as a trader. So as we know, the markets don't move the same way all the time, 24/7, every year, right? There's going to be bear markets, bull markets, times where volatility is a lot higher, times where volatility drops, and the markets aren't really moving a whole lot. And depending on different geopolitical conditions, the markets are always changing, right? Like conditions are never going to be the same for the most part, trade after trade after trade. So as a trader, you really need to sort of adapt to what the market is telling you to do. For example, and also this applies in many different aspects of trading. So, for example, right now volatility is really high. Hundreds of pips within an hour or two is not really uncommon, which is kind of crazy to say, but that's sort of just how the market's going right now, and so you need to adapt, right? Also, the markets are a little bit more choppy, right? So you need to adapt in that sense as well. I personally am more of a swing trader. I like holding trades for like a week, a few days to 2-3 weeks. That's sort of what I like to do. Unfortunately, how the market has been, I can't really do that, right? The market has fluctuated. Just take a look at the pound Australian dollar, for instance. It's just been in a really ugly range. And a lot of pairs have been in a really ugly range. And, I can't really argue with the market on that. I can't tell it to move. So what do? I can either change up my strategy a little bit depending on market conditions. I can scalp, just go for day trade 100 pips maybe, or I could just sit out of the market, wait until volatility dies down, wait until a trend forms, etc. Right? That's a form of adapting. Another form of adapting is necessarily how you enter trades or why you enter trades. So I think this aspect gets overlooked a little bit. People are either a fundamental trader or they're a technical trader, but it really helps to be sort of both and know when to focus on fundamentals and when to focus on technicals. For example, normally if a currency pair is going to go up from either a technical standpoint or a fundamental standpoint, you want to look for a decent pullback before getting in, right? You don't want to chase the move. You don't want to get in when it's already taken off, etc. So, a lot of times people like to wait for a retracement to a key level or, 61.8 or something like a decent retracement. But depending on market conditions, you might need to get in before you get that sort of confirmation. For example, I believe it was in October when the Brexit sort of mess was going on, and one morning, I remember it was early in the morning, we got news that they came to a deal, right? The UK and the EU came to a deal, and the pound just skyrocketed, went up 300 pips, right? When I woke up, I was like, whoa, that's crazy. And because of the market conditions, it would have been a lot more beneficial to just buy it then, because it went up over the next few days another like 500 pips. But if you didn't understand that environment and adapted to it, you would have waited for a pullback that never came, right? Because the fundamentals were just so strong. Now, on the flip side of that, when not much is going on, there's no news, no wars or viruses or whatever it is, when none of that's going on, you need to focus more on the technical side of things. Focus more on trend lines and zones and moving averages and how prices will react and stuff like that. You want to focus more on the technical aspect because that's what's going to matter more in terms of the price movements. If something really strong fundamental is going on, but there's a trend line in the way, there's no reason you should be trading that trend line, because price is probably going to break through, right? The fundamentals are going to be stronger in that case than the technicals. So it helps to be a hybrid of both, not really go with one or the other, and know when to focus heavily more on one or the other, and know when the market is there to swing trades and when the market is not really there for that. And you need to either scalp, day trade, or just sit back and watch, right? Adapting to different markets. So, I think also it depends what asset class you're trading, right? For Forex, it's a little different than if you were trying to trade the S&P. So it really just depends what you're trading as well. But yeah, you gotta be flexible with your approach. If you're too rigid, then you're gonna miss out on a lot of great moves, a lot of great opportunity, because you're just focused and you're just in one specific mindset. And sort of on the same token, keeping a really rigid bias about where a pair is going to go. If you're thinking a pair is going to go the same direction for a few months, you're probably a little bit too biased about that pair, because for the most part that usually doesn't happen. So you got to be a little bit flexible. There's going to be times where there's going to be a large pullback maybe, and when I mean a large pullback, it might be a month where it's going to pull back. Are you just going to wait? No, you got to be a little bit flexible in your ideas and timelines and time frames, because like right now the pound, a lot of people are very bullish on the pound, but given current situations like the virus, like the central bank cutting, etc., I don't think the pound's going to fly in the next week or two. Within the next year, I think it will, but not anytime soon. Right? And I have to be sort of flexible about, when I think that might happen. So, I just want to shoot this to remind you guys just not to be too rigid, be flexible, because I know things are crazy right now. For the most part, I've just been watching. I haven't really been trading too much. But yeah, guys, hope this video helped in some way, shape, or form. If you liked it, feel free to give it a like. If you want to see more content like this, you are always welcome to subscribe if you aren't already. And there'll be more content on the way soon. Make sure to please just enjoy your weekend, take a break, relax. I know it's been a crazy few weeks, but stay safe as always, wash your hands, and peace.